guys, welcome to my channel. So my name's Sam and today we're going to talk about how do you even start saving for the wedding, because weddings can be so freaking expensive that sometimes we don't even know where to start. So the first step is going to be sit down with your fiance and decide on a budget. Now, if you have no clue how to go about a budget, I will link another video up here that you guys could brainstorm and figure out how to even designate that budget. But with that, since I already have a video on that, we're not going to talk about how to designate the budget in this video. We're more so going to talk about how do you actually accumulate the money to pay for whatever your designated budget is. Now, the first thing that I suggest to kind of keep your finances in check is make a bank account specifically for wedding expenses. Now, whether you guys have a bank account separate, you have already a bank account together, make a new bank account. The reason why this is so important is because it will keep your finances in check, meaning that if you have X amount in the bank account, you can't take out more money than what's in that bank account. So now you know, hey, this is my budget. Or if you're periodically putting money into that account, that's fine too, if you don't just have a large lump sum at the beginning, but it still tells you this is all I have to spend, so I can't spend any more than that. Also, it helps you designate what are the things that you're spending money on. So it kind of gives you those line items. For example, if you swipe the credit card or swipe the debit card and you pay for something, it's going to show up on your statement each month and you'll be able to keep track of everything that you're spending money on. Now, I really suggest that because keeping your line items in check will help you because things add up so freaking quick. Now, also, when you're trying to designate this budget, you got to ask yourself 3 major questions. Now, the first question is, do I need it? Now, do I need it is different from do I want it? So for example, maybe you want a photo booth. A lot of people are having photo booths nowadays. So you might say, oh, that's something that would be so cute. It would really add to the atmosphere. I really would like a photo booth. But do I need a photo booth? If you say no, that's something that you could cut. If you say yes, no, this is something that I've always wanted since a kid. It is a need. If I have nothing else, I need a photo booth. Then okay, maybe it's a need. But that's up for you to decide. Now, if you decide, okay, I need it or I don't need it, still, we got a couple other questions to ask. So number 2 is, if I need it, can I DIY it or can I get it somewhere else for less money? Because even if you say, okay, I do need a photo booth, but maybe there's a creative workaround. Maybe I could do some type of DIY where I put cameras out or I make a backdrop myself and give people cameras or, so many different ideas, but that is a great workaround so you don't have to spend more money. Now if you say, okay, I don't like those DIY ideas, and again, if you want some DIY ideas, I'll link a couple up above, but regardless, if you don't like those DIY ideas, you can also ask yourself, can I get it somewhere else for cheaper? Because you might really like that one vendor, but maybe you could get it from another vendor for a little bit cheaper. So you still get what you want. It may not be absolutely perfect because maybe you wanted that other vendor, but you still might be able to get it just for a cheaper price. Now, the third and final question that you want to ask yourself, if you knock off and you say, okay, I definitely need it, I don't want to DIY it, I can't get it for cheaper, then what's the third question that you need to ask? So the third question is, can I negotiate the price on this item? So a lot of different vendors will give you the high end of the budget. So they'll say, okay, this is how much it costs. But if you talk them down and say, I'm not going to work with you, that's above my budget, but this is my budget, they might be able to work with you on that budget. So don't automatically just say, okay, it's out of my budget, so I am not going to have it. Try and negotiate with them, try and talk with them. A lot of them are small businesses as well. So a lot of them will be likely to work with you on different things. So definitely make sure that you guys do that to help you save cost. Now, with that, saving cost is pretty much saving on the wedding, because we think, okay, how can we save for the wedding? You just think about how you can make money to spend it on the wedding. But the biggest tip to saving money is not spending money. So if you could cut costs in those different areas and DIY something or negotiate the price, those are the best ways to essentially save for your wedding. Now the next one, which might seem kind of odd, but have a longer engagement. Now the reason, hear me out, the reason why a longer engagement is more beneficial is because let's say you only have a 6-month engagement, then you only have 6 months to plan, meaning only 6 months to save. But if you have a 2.5-year engagement, now that might be crazy too long for you, but if you have a 2.5-year engagement, then it gives you 2.5 years to save for the wedding. Now, it gives you like what, 5 times more than what you would have saved in that 6-month time. So just keep in mind of that. Longer engagements will help you save more because it simply just gives you a longer time to save. Now also see if you could cut cost in any other aspect of your life. So not necessarily cut costs on aspects of the wedding, but cut costs in aspects of your life. And then wherever you cut costs there, you could pertain that to the wedding and you could use that for the wedding. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have your guilty pleasure Starbucks run. You go every Friday before work, you go, you get a Starbucks and you enjoy that for the day. Well, weigh your options. Is that Starbucks every Friday that much more appealing than having that photo booth or having whatever thing? Obviously, I'm just using the photo booth as an example here, but is that more important? Weigh your options, because $5 every single week or $6 or $4, whatever the price of a Starbucks drink, I don't know, I don't really drink Starbucks, but whatever the price of a Starbucks drink is, then you could add that up so quickly for the wedding. And now you have all this extra money to use for the wedding. Now, also on top of that, if you have some bad habits, for example, maybe you like to eat junk food a lot, or maybe you smoke cigarettes or something like that that costs money to do, nip that in the bud right now. Use this wedding motivation to even better yourself and say, all right, I am going to cut costs. I am not going to buy any more junk food. And now all that money that you would spend on junk food, now you can spend that on the wedding. So again, not spending money for something else, that's the best way to save money. And now you're able to spend more money for your big day, for your wedding day. Now, once you're doing all this, I really suggest making out an Excel spreadsheet. Again, in that budget video, I do talk about the Excel spreadsheet, but there is a great one on Google Docs, just to kind of give you a quick little snippet of it. There's a great one on Google Docs. I do explain it in depth in that video, so really take a look at that. It really helps you designate every item of your budget and what you need to save for, because sometimes you think like, okay, I only need to save X amount of dollars, but then once you start designating that budget, you're like, oh my God, I actually need to save so much more because things add up so quick. So definitely check out that video. But regardless, I hope this helped you guys. I hope this got you into the mindset of, okay, if I don't spend money on this, that's essentially saving money. Also on top of that, just saving things, cutting costs on things that you might have spent in your everyday life. Also just spending items, you know, spending things in general, you could cut out there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye guys.